Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Kelly Sparks. Hey, Red Beard. So today we're going to go over Jim Beam Black Extra Aged Bourbon. This is the no age statement. Someone asked that on yesterday's video. Is it the 8-year or the no age statement? Odds are you're probably not going to find the 8-year anymore. So we're going to go over the extra aged. Now this is not going to be my opinion of the whiskey. This is going to be me trying to walk you through what you're possibly tasting and give you tips on. I really didn't need to use that whole thing. That's a lot. Hold on, let me get my funnel. This is why you keep little funnels around. I'm probably gonna spill it. I'm gonna just do that off video. Yeah, we'll just do a little bit and we'll do that off video. So anyway, if you don't have a tulip-shaped glass or a Glencairn, you're not hurting yourself. So anything that kind of directs anything that can funnel the flavors to a certain area would be good. If you have time, which if you're sipping at home, you should have time. If you're out at a bar or some establishment that sells alcohol, restaurants, whatever. How about it? How are you? She's been real clingy here lately. I was sitting on the pot this morning, taking a poop, and she was like, knee on my head, or head on my knee, and just like looking at me. But it's like so weird. So if you can give yourself time to let the whiskey warm up, I personally think, I knew she was going to do that. Personally think you'll get better aromas and flavors, more vibrant aromas and flavors out of the whiskey than you do a chilled. That's why they chill whiskey whenever they give it shots, because it tones down all the flavors. Plus, it'll water it down a little bit. So, anyway, let's try to walk through this. So on the nose, you're going to get a lot of caramel, some peanuts, and toffee. And I think in the past, I've been a little too, I think the cat's out there tearing shit up. I think in the past, I've been a little too harsh on Jim Beam and their funky nutty note. I think if you slow down a little bit, you can find in just about, oh, she's tearing, quit it! She's tearing up the poster out there, my buddy. Anyway, you can find all the little notes and nuances and learn to appreciate just about any whiskey, unless it's Kentucky Deluxe. All right, let's get a sip. Definite nuttiness coming through on the palate, but if you search hard enough, you can find some black cherries. Definitely the caramel and the toffee. Those are just signature bourbon notes, but there's other stuff sitting back there too. And what I'm trying to get everybody to do, there's a couple different tasting methods that are floating around out there. You got the Murray method, which it has its fallacies, and if you are a Jim Murray and you're tasting 100 different whiskeys in a day, then you're more than likely going to have to spit 95% of them. Otherwise, you're just going to be hammered drunk and everything's going to taste good. So if you have the option, if you're just tasting one whiskey, definitely I encourage you to swallow it, because there is some kind of lingering residue that'll come back from your throat into your mouth. But one of the tasting methods that I like the most is Robert Patterson. Yeah, Robert Patterson from Dalmore, the blending master from Dalmore. You can find videos of him all over the internet. He'll take a sip and he'll chew on it and just working around in his palate and getting it everywhere. Now, that is a good one, but that kind of just, it lets it build and build and build. The Whiskey Attic in Las Vegas has a similar method, but instead of swallowing once, like Robert Patterson does, he's Robert Patterson, they actually have you swallow 3 separate times. So as soon as you take a small sip, you roll it around on your palate, just like Mr. Patterson. After about 10 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds, your mouth starts to salivate, so the whiskey is going to start to get cut by your own saliva. The proof's going to reduce. You take a small sip. You swallow partial, a little bit of what's in your mouth. You let it sit longer and linger, 5 to 10 more seconds. Swallow a little bit more. You let it sit longer again, 5 to 10 more seconds, whatever. However long you can handle it. And I mean, 30 seconds tops is really the max. Other than that, I mean, beyond that, you're just going to have a mouthful of spit. But you should be able to discern different flavors each time you swallow. The first one, it's going to be more proof, more alcohol, more robust. The second one, you're going to find some different nuances in there as well. So, and then the third one, so on and so forth. But I suggest something between those two methods, the Robert Patterson method and the Whiskey Addict method, because I think you get most of the flavor. I don't suggest anyone just walk up, sip, let it scoot past your tongue as quick as possible, and then swallow it. You're not taking shots. I don't like to drink fast. I like to enjoy and savor the whiskey. So let's get one more sip, and we'll call it a day for day one of the best bourbons for beginners, in my opinion. Anyway, I really feel like the optimal, and this is just my opinion, folks. This is an opinion channel. That's all it is. Just opinions. It's not necessarily right or wrong, but it's my opinion. It's my channel, so fuck your face. Anyway, I feel like the optimal tasting method is probably the Whiskey Addict method, to where you take the small sip, you let it linger, roll it around all over the mouth, swallow a little bit, let it linger a little bit longer, 5 to 10 seconds, whatever. And I'm going to say 30 seconds max for the entire process. But you kind of combine a couple different methods when you do that. But instead of watering your own whiskey down with something, with water, duh, you water it down, you cut it with your saliva. So you're keeping the whiskey, I don't know how to say it. You're keeping the whiskey in its basic form, but you're adding your own juices to it, for lack of a better word, and toning it down. So it's kind of, your taste buds get the full effect instead of a watered down effect. So it's just my opinion. I hope everybody likes this series. We're going to work through these next 4 whiskeys over the next couple days, a few days, 4 days, whatever, and we'll try to figure out some stuff. And then we might, if anybody's got a suggestion on which direction we can go from here, like exploring the different labels, like Jim Beam Black. It's the same mash bill as Jim Beam White, obviously, and any other bourbon that has Jim Beam on the label. It's all the same mash bill. It is also the same mash bill of Knob Creek bourbons and Booker's bourbon. So they all start out life the same. So there's a plethora of different whiskeys from Jim Beam that you can experience, and you can see how they go and age and change with time. Thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe, check the description below for all the ways to help out with the bills around the house. Thanks to all my patrons. Thanks to everybody sticking around, watching, meow, liking the videos and everything. Check out the Bearded Idiots, like always. Drink some whiskey, share it with your friends and family. Get out of that. Share it with your friends and family. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. Take care. We'll see you next time. Cheers.